Hello! I took part in a readathon called HalfHalloweenAthon, I believe, and one of the challenges was to do the review or a review in Halloween costume. So I've kind of gone for 20s Hollywood vamp or something, of course, as I love the 20s. And one of the challenges of the books that we had to read was to read a book with an orange cover, and another was to read a book involving a murder. So I combined those two and read Release by Amelia Mangan. I did like it. There were gothic tropes in it, but they felt fresh. She writes so well that I found myself being jealous, which I think is a really good sign. You know, if you wish you'd written something, then they've done a good job. The only thing is that it did kind of lose a lot of tension for me in the third act. It's about a guy who's released from an asylum or psychiatric ward, and he goes home and he's on his own, and a girl that he met there meets up with him, and it is very claustrophobic and it's quite disturbing. But the third act just, I don't know, like it just kind of almost ran out of steam for me, which was a shame. But I am going to look out for other things that she's done because she's such a good writer. And the next ones, I combined classic monsters and the adaptation. So you had to read something that had a film or TV adaptation and then watch that as well and talk about it. So I read, or am still reading, as you can tell by the classy toilet paper bookmark, Modern Ghost Stories. There's a lot of really good classic people in here, so I wasn't going to not like it. You know, it's Daphne du Maurier, M.R. James, Algernon Blackwood, and also people like Ray Bradbury, and there's a lot of female writers in there as well. The adaptation I used for O Whistle and I'll Come to You, My Lad, which was made into a BBC programme as part of the BBC Ghost Stories that they would often do. I've had seen that and read that before, but I do like the 70s adaptations that they did of M.R. James for the BBC, but I do find them quite slow, and I know that's probably blasphemous or whatever to say, but I do find them quite slow. And I much prefer the so I'm losing my voice, I don't know what's going on, I've got hay fever or something. I much prefer the ones that Mark Gatiss did recently, Mark Gatiss of the League of Gentlemen. He did an M.R. James, which was half an hour long, and it's the right length, it fits so well. So, you know, I do like the adaptations, the old ones, but there's too much time that they have to fill. But, you know, obviously I love the book. It's got some great people in, Daphne du Maurier for one, and yeah. So, yes. That's about it. Merry Unhalloween. Have a jolly old time for this spooky summer. Goodbye.